Hello, this is Mortromain and welcome to the second episode of Let's Learn Starcraft 2. So I tried to do the exercise I put on myself last time, which are don't watch your base and use your hotkey and type in 123 to check what you should be doing. And this is a TVZ. I did another game, but the new exercises I put on myself makes everything slower. I need to think about it, and I can't think straight. And the game was really awful. I tried to focus a bit more this time. So first, against Terran, I'm going pool first, and then hatch, and then extractor. The thing is, I was doing pool first in every matchup in the beginning, and I found against Terran I can find a little bit of damage by doing 6 zergling early. Oftentimes I get an expansion early and I can kill the SCV. The other thing is, because they often build a Reaper, I have my queen ready to intercept it when it comes, so it makes it easier on me. And since I want to put some pressure, I have some units to control and I get a good scout. Like here I'm seeing he's getting Hellions, so I get back and I build a Roach Baron to defend against a bunch of Hellions. There is no plan from here except building roaches, going for Hydra, some upgrades at some points. I was trying to focus on the exercise. Like right now I should be like watching elsewhere and tapping, but I'm not doing it. Sometimes during the game it came back and I started doing it again. What was confusing also was the inject, because I'm used to do it in my own way, and the new way I put on myself is like not, I don't know, printed into my body, so I have to think about it. I have to think to watch my keyboard. So yeah, it felt very confusing for a moment. I end up winning the game anyway. What I'm doing right now, I have speed almost done, I think, or already done, and I'm trying to put pressure just to do something and not watch my base. Since he only has alien, I'm able to do some damage. I'm not sure this is a good push, a good attack. But yeah, like, I'd rather do something, especially when I'm learning, and try to improve with my tapping and macro, which is not really working, but I think it would come with time. I probably need some stepping stones to see if I'm improving or not, if I'm getting better. I don't know what to use, because in the supply, if I'm attacking, depending on how well I'm doing, I can't see. Like, okay, right now I have 10 roaches, but I lost a bunch before, so if I take at 7 minutes I need to have 20 roaches or more, because that's what I had. I need to take into account the units I lost. If I'm harassed, if I lose some drones, I need to like it screw up the stepping stone completely. So I'm not sure how I can measure how well I'm doing. So let's see what I did strategy-wise, because like I can't make any conclusion yet about my macro. I don't think I have to do the exercise way more, but since it's the first TVZ I'm doing in this series, I wanted to talk about it. So I'm making hydras, I'm making roaches. I made a bunch of ravagers. That's the first time I did it. What I wanted to see is if I could buy my enemy's siege tank, like just right here. So I just attacked his third base to deny it, and I want to push the front. I'm pretty sure it's a bad idea, but I'm trying to buy the siege tanks, and in fact the range of the Ravagers is pretty bad compared to the range of the tank, so it's not working. I need another way, so I'm not sure why making Ravagers against Terran. Maybe this was fortified too much and getting the tanks was too hard. There might be ways, times when on more open field, when you can get your bites pretty well. I'm not sure about it. So maybe I'll try to add in some ravages from now on. After this push, I'm still macroing very hard. I deny his third, so I'm confident. Let's get in my cam. And yeah, I'm taking too high for broodlords and just trying to think about what I should do, keeping my exercise. But you can see I'm not really tapping a lot. I'm doing it a bit. Sometimes I think about it, and I try to inject the correct way, but I couldn't. Like sometimes it felt too slow for me. Even though it's not, my actions are faster when I do it. So yeah, it didn't felt comfortable yet. But I'll have to, like, by doing it, it should improve. So I make a bunch of corruptors. In the end, making broodlords. It's taking me a lot of time. I think he has bases in other places. And at this point, it's just making units, and I should have checked the other bases earlier. I'm doing it only now. No, not even now. I'm doing a shooting attack to kill the third. Like all of this doesn't really matter, I don't think. Like now I have a bunch of corruptor, but I can't make broodlords because I messed up my supply, so I'm using the corruptor to lure this Viking. And yeah, I saw his base at some point. Like the tapping is not working anymore. Anyway, I'm supply blocked because I'm maxed out most of the time. There are points where I should be making units, but I'm not working on the macro at this stage. Just strategy, macro for the early game, and a bit of strategy in the end. So let's get back and see the build. So let's see the build. I know kind of what I'm doing until this point. Like I'm making 6 Zerglings. It makes me supply blocked, but I don't have any larva to spend, so I spend 1 Overlord after this. And the queen is making, I'll be supply blocked after this queen, so maybe I was a bit late on the Overlord. And now I don't know what I should be doing. I'm making another queen, should be making, yeah, another one here on the second hatch. And here I'm making drone, because I don't know exactly what to do, so I'm scouting while doing this, and money goes up pretty fast, so I'm building more queens. Like usually I get 3 queens for sure, 1 for each hatch and 1 to put some cryptomer. Against Terran I like to get more than that, but it's not stepped in stone. I sent a drone over there because I had money, but in the end the Watch Warren and the queen spend the money. I thought I would have more, enough to put a hatch here. In the end, my opponent doesn't have an expansion, so maybe if I see an expansion, like the idea here is I don't know what to do after the 6 Zerglings have been built. Maybe like what I did here was alright, because he went, I don't know what this build was. Can I see what's in his base? Yeah, he's building his first command center. So because he's not going for an early expansion, he will have alien faster, and I want to be able to defend against it. So if I don't see an expansion, maybe getting the Watch Warren fast is a good idea, and the queen to defend against the alien. And if he's taking an expansion, maybe I can forget this queen and this Watch Warren and make a hatchery. I guess that's the play. At some point, like I drone up, I make some watches for defense, and there's a point where I need to get more gas. I don't know how many watches I need, depends on what I see. Like I'm not scouting after this, and I should have. Like this Overlord is here 2 scouts, but I did it but really late. So let's write all of this down. 17 you build a pool, you build one drone, and this drone will build a hatch. You wait for the hatch, then you do another drone, and you build the extractor, and you wait. And what I did here, I built another drone, and in the end when the spawning pool was done, I had only 2 larvas, and I want 6 zerglings to do this. Maybe 4 is enough. I'm making 6 up until now. So I didn't know what to do, I waited a bit. I don't think it was a bad execution. And just after this I should make 1 overlord and after 1 drone. The thing is, with this build I end up supply blocked for a while. Like here I messed up a bit, so I'm not sure it's always the case. The 6 zerglings are done, I'm supply blocked, and the overlord is not nearly done. And I kind of have money which I would like to spend, but I can't. Like right now I could have my hatch. The problem is I don't know if he has an expansion, so I'm kind of forced to keep it. I have some gas, so I can spend some money on a metabolic boost. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Which is what I should be doing, I think. Yeah, I'm making it, okay. And the other gas is for the watch warren. I'm not sure I need it. Like, if I'm seeing an expansion out of him and I'm going for hatch, I don't need the gas. So maybe I should remove these 3 drones, like, and put them on the mineral. It would max out my mineral line. It makes a lot of things to do, and like I could do it, just wait to see if there's an expansion. If there's no expansion, I put them back, I build a watch warren, and I build another queen. I can't build the other queen yet. So I'm kind of fucked up. Like I have 3 larvas, but I can't build. I can build now. Like the overlord is done. So maybe I'll see next time if I can do, like, if I don't make 1 more drone, if I get supply blocked or not. Because like right now I can make drones. It's just I'm forgetting about them. Yeah, okay. Now I'm making 5 drones. They could have been earlier, but I'm not sure it matters. Maybe I should build overlords. Like the overlords timing, I have trouble understanding them. Because I'm not supply blocked, but I will be very soon, and since roaches, you can build a bunch of roaches, and it will, for each overlord, you can make 4 roaches. So since I have 2 hatch, I should make overlords 2 by 2, I guess. Yeah, that's probably the rules to be watching for. So yeah, I'll stop right now for this. So 3 zerglings, overlords and drones. I don't know if I'll have the money, but if expo, then another queen, no, not another queen, then expand, else I do programming in my profession, so I think it's showing right now. If he doesn't have an expo, I want, like, yeah, for now, if he doesn't have an expo, I want the watch warren and a queen. And I'm still building drone until I need it. Oh, and there was the gas. So I make drones when I can. Zergling speed. When it's done, I remove drones from gas. It feels like a lot of things to do. I'm not sure I'll be able to do it correctly. And so if it doesn't have an expansion, I build a watch warren, a queen, and a mine gas again to build the roaches. And I'll stop right here. I'm not even sure. Like, I could do this and test the build against AI, but I feel like it's a waste of time. I want to play against players. Even though I will lose, it doesn't matter. So you make your build slower this way, but like it's more fun. Okay, second game for this episode will be another ZVZ. I want to refine my build, write it down. So what I'm doing for the VZ, I already explained last time, but 17 hatch, make a drone, make an extractor, another drone, a pool, 2 drones, so I should be at 18 supply, one overload, and when the pool is done I remove one of gas and I get metabolic boost. And after this I build zerglings, only zerglings. Just the idea is I don't know what to do, and I don't have, like, if I scout with zerglings, maybe I should scout with zerglings, like we'll discuss it later. Okay, I'm making zerglings. I should have my overload done. I'm building the nest just afterwards, like when I have 50 gas. And at this point, like, his hatchery just pop out, so I know it probably went pool first. And in fact, I can see he's making roaches. This is kind of a strange build. Maybe I could have done damage by sending my zerglings right now. The problem is I'm kind of afraid if he's doing a lot of zerglings and banelings and I'm not aware of it, I'm not watching my zerglings, they'll die and I lose the game. But it might be, like, I know I said I wanted to put pressure, but in ZVZ I'm a little bit afraid of it. So I'm not sure what to do right now. What I was thinking in this game, and I think I should be doing something like that, is to wall off this. A lot of people do it, and start building roaches. I'm afraid of building drones as long as I don't have a wall. Okay, and now I can build drones, if I wasn't supply blocked. I'm not sure why I'm building roaches right now. I know, he's building roaches. I'm building the roach one. Okay, and I should be making drones right now. The spine is just for safety. Since I have the wall, I send my zergling out, I forget about them, and then I go in, I see the roaches. I shouldn't have come inside. I don't think there's nothing to scout. He has a bunch of roaches, so I should have saved my zerglings. Because I saw a bunch of roaches, now I think I'll be making only roaches, because I'm afraid. But I was expecting an attack, but it's not coming. So I just macro. I wanted to get a lair, but since I was kind of trying to do the tapping stuff, I never had enough gas to build it, because I was building roaches since I was afraid. So I don't know when I should build the lair. And like, I heard the nidus and I know what's coming, like swarm hosts. The thing is, he waited a bit, so I had the time to think about it. Because I had a lot of roaches and I was afraid, I sent half of them on to protect my base and half of them to kill the nidus, and it was enough to kill the locust. I'm usually getting screwed by this strategy, but I don't know why. This time it was okay. Normally you should have put another nidus, like, already over there, I think. Because here I'm killing the nidus and I'm getting my watches down to prevent it. And I have two control groups. One to deflect and one to attack elsewhere and kill niduses. Like, in the end, it did damage on my units, and I'm not sure he did that much damage. You see, he has way more supply than I do, but he has a lot of money, so he's not spending. Maybe I didn't do that well against it. Well, in the end, I'm winning. Build a bunch of roaches and hydras and kill them. The question I wanted to ask me was what to do in the early game. So the first thing is, these first zerglings, I should send them over. Like, I'm seeing he has no hatch, so I'm afraid of a link flood, and he'll probably get, like, if he was going for a fast zergling speed without a hatch, it's dangerous to go out, because he'll get speed faster than me and my zerglings are dead. So no, I think keeping them here is better, and I should wait until I have speed before going. So it was the correct answer. The thing is, because he went for early roaches, like, I should have been able to punish him with my zerglings, but it's too dangerous if I don't know what he's going for. And when I see the first roaches, it's too late already, I think. Like, I'm making the wall before Zergling speed is done, so I think in the end the way I did it was correct. I don't know, I cannot if I send my overlord to see what he's making, I'm not sure. I might lose the overlord. By the time the overlord gets over there, it's probably too late to change anything in my build. So my overlord comes out here, and what do? I see the hatch is late, so I'm afraid. So I guess keeping the Zerglings in is a good thing to do. And probably keeping them always here is good. Like, even if he has a hatch, like if he went hatch first, if I send them, I'll have speed around the same time as he do, and I'll be able to get back, but like it will screw up my build probably. I'll have to think about other stuff, so I don't know. I'll see if I lose because of it. Maybe I might change it, but I know why I could lose because of it. I'm making Zerglings. If my opponent went hatch first and is droning and getting roaches, fast roaches, my Zerglings are useless now, and they could have been drones, so I'm kind of behind. I guess that's the reason why you want to send your Zerglings, to force him to make Zerglings. If you see Zerglings, you get back, you have your defensive bandlings, and you're building a wall, so you're fine. So yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so I build, like in the build, I remove one of gas, so I have 16 in the mineral line. I'm not sure it's the right way to do it. I think I saw pro players do this kind of stuff. I don't know what it changed. It's easier. Why do I have only 11 drones here? Oh yeah, because I sent a bunch to build stuff. In the end, maybe I could get faster bendings, but like it's convenient this way, so I won't think about it too much. I should put one in the gas bag when I decide I want more roaches. The question I have is maybe I should build a bending nest in the wall. So I will save a drone and 75 for the evolution chamber. The problem of 2 evolution chamber is I'm using only 1. I think I will try to do this, but I'm not sure the creep is far enough. When do I build the bending nest? Right now. Yeah, the creep is not far enough. Well, maybe I could wait a bit. I have to wait until now. I don't like it very much. Like, the bending nest is halfway down and I might need it, so yeah, no. The bending nest cannot be inside the wall. Not with this build, anyway. Okay, so that's my build for now. The question after is when do I build a lair? What do I do from here? Because it's hard to attack without speed. If I'm building a ton of roaches, my opponent is taking up. So I don't know, but I'll have to think about it in the next game or in another game. Anyway, a ZVZ just quickly to see one thing about my build. I was saying I didn't know what to do with my Zerglings and I kept them at home. And in this one, that's what I'm doing. Can wait a bit. And when the Overlord come out into his base, I forgot about it. And in this map, I don't see the creep right here. So I don't know if he has a hatch or not. And I forget about it for a while. And when I finally see the creep, I'm not sure about the timing, so I'm afraid. And I keep my Zerglings at home. And what we see is he's not making any Zerglings. He's joining up hard. You even have a late metabolic boost. He's taking a gas, which I'd like to know about it. In the end I lose this one. He comes in with too many roaches and Ravagers because he have a way better economy than me. And if I had used my Zergling here, I would have either forced him to make some Zergling of his own, I would have had speed before, I would have been able to check the gases, and everything would have been better. So I'm making paintings when I don't need to. Out of this was because like I didn't check, and I should have. Anyway, so I think I need to focus on this. Try in ZVZ, try to use my first Zerglings if I know the guy went hatch first, like he did right here. So maybe on this map and on maps that matters, I should send my Overlord over there just to see if there's a hatch. If the hatch is not done, a queen will have a hard time getting my overlord. So yeah, that's what I'll try to do from now on. Finally, ZVP. I'll talk about the build again. I'm using this time the same as for Terran, at least in the very early stage. What I'm used to do is hatch first, but I feel like Protoss often makes a wall in their base, in their natural, to take an early expansion, and sometimes you can get some Zerglings inside. And I want to try it. I don't get the extractor first because I feel it's too slow. I still want to make drones and have a second base. This time the guy, he screwed up his wall. I think what he needed to do was put the cybernetic core over there, but I don't know, maybe he panicked. So I'm making a bunch of Zerglings right now and try to abuse this. The idea is, if he scouts that I'm going pull first, he's forced to make a zealot to close his wall, and while the zealot block the entrance, I can do some damage to building, and I'm wondering if I can build a bending nest after this and try to bust my way in if I did enough damage. I can't refine the build right now because I didn't have to make Zerglings, but it was a nice thing to do. I end up killing a bunch of probes. He fend off the attack, but I'm on 3 bases. I have a bunch of drones, so I'll kill him with watches. And his wall is weak. I can attack the gateways without him doing much about it. Just reach this point. So yeah, I'm going in with a bunch of watches with speed and just poking at the wall. Maybe it was a mistake. I'm trying to kill the robo after this. I felt like if he can't make any mortals, it will be better in the long run, but I end up taking a lot of damage. I still have way more supply than him, so I'm kind of okay, and I'll be making hydras pretty soon, so I think it was fine. But the damage came from the early stages. I don't know if what I did after this was alright or not. I have a lot of money, I'm not spending it the right way, but he isn't either. So we're kind of equivalent on this side. So yeah, not making a wall is what makes me win this. And like I said, my build the same as Terran, except I would keep some mining drones, I think. I just write it down right now. Okay, so this is the idea of what I'd like to do. So the build is the same just from here. Here maybe I'll make Zerglings, because I want to pressure the wall. And the thing is, after getting Zergling speed, the question is, can I get enough for a bending nest? Like here in the build I didn't... yeah, I removed them. Okay, so I can't now. But I'll probably get the bending nest like around now. So I should be poking at the wall, if the wall was correct. What came out from this? Okay, a zealot and a stalker. I don't know if I can put the shield down enough so that by reinforcing with Zerglings while I'm poking at it, when like a stalker or an adept comes in, I'll have to get back. Will I have done enough damage so that a bending nest can be done and some bending done to destroy this? I don't know how much a bending does. It doesn't do more damage on buildings? Because 20 for 1? Okay, so let's see this. I made a bunch of banelings. A warp gate, 40 and 20. No, okay, it's making more damage than this. Like 50, something like that. Let's try on a fresh building. Like this one, 550. Okay, I'm doing 70 damage with this. Maybe it depends on how the surface area, the splash damage is counting as more than this. So if I have a bunch of Zergling attacking this, And I'm able to put it like without shield. Can I kill it with 5? No, it's 6 zerglings. It's still a lot. Like 6 zergling, 6 banelings. How much cost a baneling? 25, so 150 gas. That's a lot of gas. I don't know if it's worth it to open a way, because it's kind of all in. Like if I fail, if he makes a sentry and force field after this, or have other buildings behind this, I will fail. I will have killed only one warp gate, and I won't be doing any more damage while I lost a lot. Probably, like, this build is probably not a good idea. But I still think, like, poking at the wall to see if there's a hole in it is good. So, yeah, usually what I do is hatch first, and the same build as for Zerg, and I make 8 Zerglings, and I run him. And I see, if he has an Adept or a Stalker, I get back. If not, I go in and try to do damage. Maybe 8 Zergling is a lot, but like if I only do 4 Zerglings and I can enter the wall, I won't be able to do much damage. Well, we'll see. I'll have to play another PvZ to try it again. The other thing about the build I did this game is if I'm getting cannon rushed, I have some Zerglings earlier to deal with it, but I'm having trouble with cannon rushes. Another DVP just to show the build I will really use, because the last one I don't think was alright. So it's the same as Zerg, in fact, except I remove all the drones from the gas because I don't want a bending nest anymore. I make 8 Zerglings because I have 2 hatches, and I go and poke at the wall. Here the wall, like, I was making drones before this, like I build... How many drones do I have? I go up to 18, then I build 8 Zerglings, and then I drone up again. And if there's a wall, well, I mean, if there's a hole in the wall, I start making Zerglings again, if I feel I can do damage. And yeah, like making a hole here, and it should be making a pylon. So what I did was go for the pylon first to shut down the gateway. What I don't understand is he should have had a unit, right? If I look at everyone's cam. Ah, okay, it was too late. I probably wasn't watching. Okay, so he missed his build a bit. Usually the Adept comes out just before the Zerglings arrive. Or maybe it's the map that is shorter, but I don't think so. So in the end, I micro a lot to get the Adept, but if I can't kill it, like maybe if he walled over there, it would be another story. But here I feel like if I kill the Adept, I won the game. But if I don't, I probably lose because I'm doing nothing right now. I have a lot of money, but so does he. In fact, he's trying to wall again, but it's too late. Like, maybe it doesn't change anything, I don't know. Anyway, this is kind of the build. If there's no hole in the wall, I'll be joining up, taking a third, and like, I don't know when I'll take my guesses, but yeah, the idea is to go for watches.